Thanks so much for joining us on KGW Plus at 12:30. I'm Stephanie Domerat. Rod Hill will join us in just a moment for a look at your forecast. But first, we want to get to some of your top stories this afternoon. The suspect that started an hours-long standoff in Tigard is in the hospital, being treated for life-threatening injuries. Police say the incident started around 11 o'clock last night with a call about a fight between family members. When police arrived, they realized the suspect had guns and worked to evacuate other family members. While that was happening, the suspect began barricading himself inside the house and setting fires. Police were able to pull him out of a window more than 6 hours later and send him to the hospital. Officials have not released the suspect's name or charges he could face. In Washington, 2 ballot measures looking to walk back a pair of controversial education initiatives have garnered hundreds of thousands of signatures. The first would restore a, quote, parents' bill of rights, requiring schools to be more transparent with parents about what's happening with their child. The second would require students be verified as biologically female in order to compete in girls' school sports. The Secretary of State's office is working to verify the measures and that they have enough signatures to appear on the ballot this year. The Oregon Ducks are officially set to take on the Indiana Hoosiers this Friday in the Peach Bowl. Big news. It's Oregon's first trip to the semifinals since the first college football playoff in 2015. Indiana is undefeated going into the playoff semifinal. They are the Ducks' only loss this season, beating them 30-20 in October. Odds makers favor the Hoosiers by 4. Kickoff for the Peach Bowl is set for 4:30 our time this Friday, January 9th. Ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro pled not guilty to narco-terrorism and other charges in his first court appearance this morning. The U.S. indictment against Maduro accuses him of leveraging government power to promote criminal conduct such as drug trafficking and terrorism. Venezuela's Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, who has expressed her willingness to work with the U.S., is now the interim president. Members of Congress are divided, mostly among party lines, about whether the strike was legitimate.
Only Congress has the power to declare war.
This was not an action that required congressional approval. In fact, it couldn't require congressional approval because this was not an invasion.
Officials there say at least 40 people were killed in that attack. And turning now to your weather headlines today with a live look from our Wells Fargo Skycam. Looking over the Rose City, just a beautiful day out there. It may not look like it, but there is actually some rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Let's bring in meteorologist Rod Hill with more details on that. Hey, Rod.
Yeah, you look at that. What could go wrong,
right?
You will have completely dry weather, Stephanie, the rest of today. And all of your evening plans look dry as well. Here's the system. So here we are. You can see a little dry break yet offshore, but these clouds will start to come in overnight. There will be some rain in our region on the radar when you wake up tomorrow morning. Could still be dry in Portland early. This is 8 o'clock, showing maybe the first chance of some raindrops. Most of the modeling shows we are seeing rain no later than 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. This starts off as kind of gentle rain, and then it's later in the day into the evening that we start to get the heavy stuff. This is actually 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, so this will be the main rain event with a cold front coming in. There'll be some breezy winds. Notice the snow. We talked earlier in the show, the winter storm warning for the Cascades with heavy snow expected starting tomorrow, mainly in the afternoon all the way into Thursday. Potentially a bit of a break during the Wednesday morning hours, but there's more moisture coming in during the afternoon. So we do have an impact alert up for tomorrow afternoon into the evening for the rain coming in, and we'll talk or recap for you if you missed it last half hour, how much snow is coming to the Cascades. This is something that we really need. I think it's okay to say the word desperately need, because if you compare this year, Stephanie, right now to a year ago, the Mount Hood resorts have roughly 80 inches less snow on the ground. How about that?
Wow, that's drastic.
Yeah.
We definitely need this snow. Thanks so much, Rod. 4 people, reportedly from Oregon, died in a helicopter crash Friday in Arizona. The local sheriff's office says the chopper hit a slack line that was strung across mountains near the town of Superior. Family members posted on social media that all 3 passengers and the pilot on board are from Oregon, and they are related. They say 2 of the passengers are from the city of Echo, 1 from Hermiston, and the pilot is from Baker City. The sheriff's office has not confirmed their identities. The NTSB is looking into what happened. And local first responders had to conduct a rope rescue after a driver went over an embankment. This happened just before 1 this morning near Southeast Troutdale Road and Division Drive in Troutdale. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies found the car about 20 feet down and heard the driver calling for help. After pulling him out, the driver was treated at the hospital and cited for a DUI. In Hillsboro, firefighters were kept busy this weekend by a house that caught fire twice. The first time was just before 9 o'clock last night to the area of Northeast Sunrise Lane and 21st Avenue. As soon as they arrived, crews called for more help putting out the fire. They had to navigate rescuing 2 people and a fallen power line. Of the 6 pets that were reported there, 4 were found dead, sadly. Then, just before 10 this morning, firefighters were called back after our crew saw smoke and flames coming from the home again.
The fact that it was boarded up made it difficult to force entry again this morning. I mean, they did a great job last night securing the property, which made it a little bit challenging this morning getting back in. So that's a big risk of the firefighters.
The 2 people have been displaced. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. President Trump making new comments on the deployment of troops to U.S. cities. It says the National Guard will soon be leaving Chicago, Los Angeles, and here in Portland. President Trump announced that he is withdrawing troops from the 3 cities in a social media post. It follows a federal judge's decision in November to block the Guard from deploying to Portland. But he also suggested the troops could be redeployed, and it would be in, quote, much different and stronger form.
The crime will soon start because they now know that we're out. And at the appropriate time, we'll go back in, and we may, if we're allowed to. The most powerful thing we haven't used, the Insurrection Act.
You're considering using the Insurrection Act?
I've always considered it, but we haven't needed it anywhere.
On Thursday, Governor Tina Kotek said her office had not yet received official notice that the remaining federalized Oregon National Guard troops could return home. A new year couldn't come soon enough for Oregon's struggling wine industry. Winemakers say they are ready to leave the tariffs and lagging sales of 2025 and start fresh. Libby Dowsett takes a look at the toll last year and that tariffs had on smaller wineries.
Looking at 1.2 acres of Chardonnay, 1 acre of Sauvignon.
Jared Hottie from Grape Inc. Winery in North Plains moved from Europe to plant grapes in Oregon's Tualatin Hills.
There's our Mondeuse, which is from the Savoie region, Pinot Noir, and Trousseau. Although there's not a leaves and fruit, this is my favorite time of the year as it gives me a chance to see what happened last year.
It's a question many local winemakers are asking. What did happen last year? A waning interest in both wine and spirits. Months of tariff trouble with Canada and Europe. Hottie first heard about Canada's devastating wine import ban as he was loading a pallet of wine headed north.
And I'm very happy they didn't take the wines because they would have been stuck with them and unable to sell.
The export market accounts for 25 to 30% of Grape Inc.'s production. According to the Wine Institute, Canada may have softened retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods this fall, but most individual provinces have yet to drop their bans on U.S. wine and spirits. Larger wineries also feeling the crush, but they know wineries like Grape Inc., which produces just 500 cases of wine a year, depend on every bottle sold.
What drives the Oregon wine industry is that smaller 5,000 case winery. And so there's real people crafting real wine here in the state.
Real people with real wine, but fewer people to buy it.
That's the hardest part is Mother Nature presented us with some wonderful vintages. So we have all these wonderful wines and we're looking forward to celebrating them and sharing them abroad.
Hoping for that chance again in 2026. Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
And straight ahead on KGW News at 12:30, one local business historically known for selling booze is riding the non-alcoholic wave, and it appears to be paying off. We'll explain. And later, Southern California continues to grapple with flooding after an especially wet start to the new year, and officials say record-setting coastal conditions are responsible.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, many people use the start of the year as a chance to cut back on things like drinking alcohol. Well, it's become a tradition for some to participate in Dry January, and one local beer seller is catering to the sober crowd with NA Fest. KGW photographer Dan Arusha went to check it out.
Today we've got our third annual NA Fest we've been doing to kind of honor the non-alcoholic side of the business. John's historically has been a beer store, but times have changed and people's palates have changed. We wanted to ride that wave of makers that are focusing on the non-alcoholic sector. I would say that we're seeing double-digit increases every year, given that there is that many more makers out there that are bringing the craft to the table. The variety and the quality is just accelerating. People come in here and they can try a lot of things and be here for a couple hours versus a beer festival or something else. You kind of have your limit. So empty your cup about what you understood as near beer and fill it with a new one and see what you think.
Nice afternoon, work or play. This is actually one of the cloudier cameras out in Washington County, the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. Temperature is 46 degrees, a little bit brighter of a look up and some folks playing. That's Lewis River Golf Course up in Woodland. It all changes tomorrow. Valley rain, mountain snow ahead in your forecast.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
And welcome back. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Well, to Southern California now, where residents are dealing with severe flooding after heavy rain and record-setting tides hit the region. This is video from the Bay Area showing flooded streets. Look at all that water. Neighborhoods with sandbags along garage doors to mitigate the flooding. Certain counties saw more than 4 inches of rain over a 48-hour period. And officials say king tides reached levels the area hasn't seen since 1998. Just look at that when they're driving. It's wild. The rain in Southern California, though, is supposed to taper off by tomorrow morning, so good news there. And an update to local ski conditions. Cascade Resorts from Bachelor to Timberline picked up 6 to 8 inches of snow over the weekend. Mount Hood Meadows had a limited opening yesterday and closed before night operations. They do hope to get back to normal operations, though, soon with more snow in the forecast. And for more on that, we got Rod.
You know what's goofy? And I've seen this online. I've had people stop me when I'm out and about, and we've chatted about it. If you look at the California flooding, you think about how we had the warmest December ever in Portland, PDX site specific. Records go back to 1941. This is all very what we would say is El Nino-like. But in fact, we're in this La Nina that's actually a smidge stronger than the La Nina a year ago. And yet this weather this year has been nothing similar to last year.
No, so
how do you
different.
explain it? I'm hoping you can tell me.
You were going to be the one I was going to ask.
No, I'm looking for answers here.
I got nothing.
I think we're all looking for answers in the meteorological community. The outlooks for this winter has simply not been the season that we were, especially myself, projecting. What we really need is mountain snow, and finally we're going to get it. And again, here's the winter storm warning. Both the Cascades of Oregon and Washington starting tomorrow all the way into Thursday. So it's not going to be the biggest of all storms, but confidence is really absolute that the base of Meadows, 5,000 feet up through Timberline, will at least get 2 feet. Fingers crossed, 3 feet out of all of this. Again, Stephanie talked about the rain down in Southern California. That heavy rain has actually shifted more up into the San Francisco Bay Area and up in the parts of Northern California. We have some shower activity out east in the form of either rain or snow, depending on elevation. Here's our dry rest of today and evening where you see the moisture break. And yes, this is the storm that will come in tomorrow. So just kind of recap some things we already talked about. Tomorrow, snow picks up in the morning, but really doesn't start to get heavier or noticeable until we're into the afternoon hours. And I think tomorrow could be as high as 4,000 feet. That means it's tough to tough. The passes are going to get snow covered during the daytime or just stay wet. Snow level behind a evening front tomorrow. Drop to 2,000 feet Wednesday and then stay there. They're 2,000 feet by Wednesday sunup. That will be snow-covered passes and slow travel without question going into Wednesday. Again, here's Futurecast. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the first chances of rain. There's rain hitting the north coast. This continues to pick up. We have steady rain overtaking our area during the afternoon. Again, there's a surface front with us, and the front is tomorrow evening. This is 8 o'clock. This is the heavy rain band with the front where you see the yellow and the orange. Probably at some point tomorrow afternoon in the dinner time, some 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts along the coast, and we'll at least get noticeably breezy southwest winds, 15 to 25 here in the valley. And that moves through. I doubt if we see this type of a dry break Wednesday morning, but it does point out the fact that Wednesday is not a steady moisture day. Instead, we're going to be looking at occasional shots of rain coming in, and that will feed the snow machine up in the Cascades. The beauty of Wednesday is the flow pattern goes to the west. Now think about this. Go back to your water cycle that you learned in elementary school. The west winds come in and boom, they slam up against the Cascades. That forces the air to go up. That's your water cycle. That leads to the clouds building and the evaporative rates dropping moisture. So the west wind on Wednesday could really deliver some nice snow down to 2,000 feet in the high country. A lot of rain too, about 2 at the coast and thinking around an inch or so of rain here in the valley. All right, there's the Oregon Veteran Zone camera from the Dalles. There's the Chehalem Tasting Room camera. It's a lovely afternoon. Portland 46. We'll show you your 7-day forecast numbers. 48 today. The impact alert for the rain picking up tomorrow. The dry weather this upcoming weekend. We'll be back in a moment.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. It was a big weekend for the Seattle Seahawks because for just the fourth time in franchise history, the team is the #1 seed in the NFC playoffs. That's after they beat the 49ers 13-3. And while there are plenty of star players on the Seahawks, they all want to credit the head coach.
The community that he's building in that locker room, man, we play for each other. We fight for each other. And I've said this before. We got here to this point, and it started last year, man. It started through those ups and downs that we had last year when I came here. It started then, and we were able to pick it up this year and just keep rolling.
They love each other, man. It is so much fun to go to work every day and to coach this team. It is an absolute honor to coach these guys. I just talked to AD on the plane. I was like, I don't want this to end.
Again, this is the fourth time in Seattle that the NFC #1 seed in franchise history. The 3 previous times they've made it to the Super Bowl. And Vegas likes their odds to win it all. They are also the Super Bowl favorites in the latest odds by DraftKings, followed by the Rams, the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Eagles. We will see. And on the Olympic level, Washington's Cooper McLeod will make the trip to Milan. McLeod qualified this weekend, finishing second in the 1,000-meter speed skate. He will try to qualify in the 500-meter race today. This will be his first trip to the Olympics. Very cool stuff. We'll be following along. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
And finally, in this noon hour, people were lined up around the block this morning, hoping to land reservations to hold a wedding at one of Portland Parks and Rec, 200 parks, gardens, and picnic areas. The first round of reservations opened this morning at 8 o'clock, but only if you showed up in person. So look at this line. It's a great deal for people looking for a perfect wedding venue at a low cost. Some of these parks cost just a couple $100 to reserve a wedding. Reservations, though, are limited.
Definitely the price is a nice thing, but just kind of like we're outdoorsy people, and I'm sure a lot of people are, but just having like a beautiful place for your friends and family to come together and hang out where it's cozy and nice.
Reservations made in person will have priority, and requests made online or by phone or mail will start being processed tomorrow. You can find details on our website at kgw.com. I'm glad that the weather cooperated enough for those people who had to sleep overnight on the street.
And during sunrise, our Thomas Schultz was out there. And Thomas said, and I think this is a direct quote, "I am here in the line to get married." I'm like, Thomas, do tell. Turns out he was just covering the story.
Got it. It's the way you say it, though, right? Yeah.
We
would have lined up to see that. That's pretty fun.
Here's our 7-day forecast. 48 this afternoon. We're 46, 47 right now. So it's that time of the year you just don't warm up much further past 1 o'clock. Tomorrow, light rain picks up, gets heavier into the evening. The evening is a part of your Tuesday that really looks to be a washout, and we have the KGW Impact Alert in effect for that.
We'll be ready for that, Rob. Thank you. And a reminder, we have added more live news to KGW+. You can tune in sunrise from 7 to 9. We'll see you back here